Hey, I'm Brennan with RevZilla, and today on Ride Tested, we are checking out the Alpinestars GP Plus R V3 Rideknit leather jacket. I've got the Triumph today, some beautiful weather, so let's hit the road.
The Alpinestars GP Plus R V3 Rideknit leather jacket. Say that 10 times fast. My God, Alpinestars, I love you. But man, if you're watching this, and you're probably not, can we please change the names? I know it makes sense for your catalog. I get it. I've been told that. If I go to a ride night, or a bike night, I should say, and I'm hanging out with some buddies, and they see this jacket, and like, hey man, it's a cool jacket. You know, what is that? Well, let me tell you, it's the Alpinestars GP Plus R V3 Rideknit leather jacket. They're going to be like, what the hell? I'm never going to remember that. Let me write that down. And I'm going to have to tell them 5 times what the name of it is. No one's going to remember how to Google this. But what's not silly is how comfortable this jacket is. And I know I said it in the detailed product breakdown if you've seen that, but my gosh, it's just something, it's so freaking comfortable. It's insane. I was just riding in my Roland Sands class jacket, and then I threw this on afterward because I was hopping on the R6, and I just couldn't believe how much more comfortable it was in comparison. But that Rideknit material is so comfortable. It makes such a huge difference. I've had the ability to compare it to the non-Rideknit option, and they're comparable, but this definitely has the advantage when it comes to comfort. It's going to be more breathable, that Rideknit material, and it's going to be more abrasion resistant as well. So definitely some pros there, and it just helps immensely with the overall flexibility. Now, I do have some things that I don't absolutely love. I think at this price point, I would have loved to get CE level 2 protection, and with this, we've only got CE level 1 protection. It's the Nucleon Flex Plus, and I think that's partly because they just wanted to keep the overall comfort that this jacket provides, and you know, when you move up to CE level 2, it just gets a little bit more bulky. But I still think at this particular price point, I would have loved to see CE level 2. The other thing I wanted to mention was the perforation, or the lack of perforation, I should say, on the non-Rideknit jacket. You get a lot of perforation on the chest, and they dropped that on this one, but it was supposed to provide a little bit more airflow and a little bit more comfort, but they're lacking on the perforation here at the chest. So I think that was definitely a miss in my personal opinion. I wish that was integrated, because that perforation, believe it or not, does make a huge difference. If you've ridden in a jacket with perforation and then ridden in one without it, I mean, you can immediately feel the difference. The protection is here, you know, cowhide, leather. It's very nice hand to it. Alpinestars, you know, typical fit and finish is spot on. For those of you into the airbag technology that is continually improving, this does accommodate the Tech Air 5, so you can throw that in there. And you've got pockets at the back, of course, and then the chest to throw in some chest armor if you want to do that as well. If you've got the connection zipper, so you can pair this up with a set of Alpinestars pants if you wish to do so. This is easily something you can take to the track, and I think you'd be well protected. It's got the comfort you need. Personally, I prefer having a tracksuit if I'm riding at the track, but I know plenty of guys that do the two-piece, you know, jacket and pants, and you can totally do so. If you're going to the track on a routine basis, though, it might be worth the investment to get, you know, a full-on tracksuit. Let's get into some of the questions. One of the questions that came up was about the coloring, which is interesting because the Rideknit material, there was very opposing feedback on that. Some people say it's got a lot of reds to it. Some people say it's more like KTM orange. I think it has a bit more of an orange coloring to it. It's not KTM orange for sure. I don't think it matches that, and it's got red in it as well. It's definitely got red in it, but it gives off like this darkish orange. I don't know how to explain it. It's kind of right there in the middle. It's an interesting color, to say the least. Other question, the fit. Obviously, fit is very important. I kind of mentioned this one earlier, but the fit, very much true to size. I went with my typical Alpinestars fit there, size 50, and for reference, about $170. 5'11" with a 38, 39-inch chest, and the size 50 fits me very well. I can squeeze into a size 48, but it's just not nearly as comfortable, and it feels far more snug than it needs to, in my personal opinion. This is still nice and snug, but I've got a little bit of comfort room in the chest area. Obviously it's leather, so it breaks in and relaxes a little bit with regular use and time. Definitely fits true to size, very much a Euro fit, but it doesn't feel like some of those other Euro jackets that you might have tried on before, where they are very aggressive and they take a little bit to break in. This thing feels broken in for you right out of the box, which is awesome. And it's a major contribution to how they have placed the Rideknit material and just that material itself. They're getting better and better at implementing this amount of stretch and this amount of comfort into the jacket. So it's only getting better. No need to bounce around when it comes to that. The other question that came up a good bit, should I spend the extra money for the Rideknit option or just stick with the non-Rideknit jacket? What do you think? And that was a really great question. And in my personal preference, I would say if comfort is the #1 priority, it's going to be worth spending a few extra bucks for the Rideknit material. If airflow is the #1 priority, even though the Rideknit material is claiming to flow more air for you, they lack the perforation on the Rideknit jacket. It lacks the perforation on the chest, as I mentioned before. So if airflow is your #1 priority, you're riding in really hot conditions, and you know that, I would highly recommend checking out the non-Rideknit version, because the airflow on that chest makes a huge difference. It really, really does. So I think both jackets are excellent options. This is just something that I think Alpinestars is trying. They've got this new material. They're putting it out there, seeing how people like it. And I hope they utilize it more. Obviously, any new material, any new production of implementing a new material into gear is going to be a bit more costly. So that's why you're seeing the price increase. If I was going to keep it for a long time, I'd probably swing for the Rideknit. I'm going to get back to riding. I was just zipping around today. Wanted to hop on here and share some thoughts with you about this particular jacket and hopefully give you some additional insight. Obviously, if you have any additional questions, you can always reach out. Hopefully you guys are getting in some ride time. As always, keep it pinned.